What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another excellent episode of Unplugged. You already know what time it is. It's your boy Pico Black saying, what's going on? How everybody doing? And I hope everybody's having a great day, a wonderful day, and also a blessed day. Do me a favor before we start the show. There's fireworks going on. Do me a favor before we start the show, man. Unplugged podcast on YouTube, Pico Black 74. Do me a favor, go over there, tap that sub, tap that follow. Speaking of follow, you can follow me on TikTok at Pico City, and you can follow me on Instagram at Pico Black 74. There we go. I see it. Thank you guys for watching the show. If there's nobody on my live, if there's somebody on the live, the show will go on. The show must go on no matter what. The show must go on. And for the people that are sharing the content, thumbs up to you guys, man. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. It brings out the best in me to see me on somebody else's page. So, hey, keep it going on. Hey, Katrina, how you doing? Before the show begins, do me a favor. If you're doing the show after the show, it doesn't matter. Hit that like button. Feel free to leave a comment. And once again, definitely feel free to share the content. So, let's just hop right into it. Now, today we have a pretty special show. Somebody had sent me a video. Never saw the video before a day in my life. So I can't say, well, I've seen this before, blah, blah, this, that, another. I never saw it before, but it pretty much goes into the things I'd be saying about, marriage, husband and wife, and, doing the right thing or improving your life to do the right thing, or at least trying to do the right thing. So the video I'm about to play is very interesting, and it's going to ruffle some feathers. People might not believe what the sister is going to say, well, the woman is going to say, but you have to listen. Don't be so quick to judge what she say, but be swift and slow at the same time to listen to what she's saying, to have an understanding of what she's saying, because society have got so bent out of shape that nobody really knows what's going on anymore. But I'm going to play this video and you guys decide for yourself, because it's backwards. There's a reason why relationships and marriages don't work. Because there's a reason for everything. Things don't just work just out just because people just say, well, it ain't working. There's a reason why things don't work. But if you do things in order, decently and in order, there's a better chance of you saving your marriage or your relationship. I'll just say marriage. There's a better chance of you saving your marriage than it going wrong. Now remember, you have to go about doing things the right way, because if you don't do things the right way, well, we're going to end up in the same rut. And of course, we all grow, we all make mistakes, but once you make mistakes and you find out the mistake you made, you have to rectify it and try your best for it to never happen again. For example, say if I have a wife and all we do is argue all day, every day. Okay, argue. She called me this, I call her that. I call her that, she called me that. Just keep going back and forth. Well, of course, there's nothing healthy coming out of that. But I just argue over everything, every little thing. But one of us have to come to reality that, hey, this arguing and this bickering is getting nowhere fast. So one of us have to change the way we're going about doing things. So either I'm going to change or you're going to change. So all I can do is change what I was doing, and hopefully you'll jump on this bandwagon and change what you're doing. Now, if I change and you consider to say, well, this, and keep coming at me with an argumentative tongue, well, you haven't learned anything. None of us have learned anything. So it's very important that you do things the right way and you stay on track on how you go about doing things. Because if you go off track, it's hard. No, actually, if you go off track, which people are going to do, I'm just going to be honest about it, because we're all human. People are going to go off track. People are going to miscommunicate things and mess things up. But it's the will of you and the will of your spouse to get things back together in order in your household, to have a healthy relationship or healthy marriage or whatever. So this is the icebreaker. Well, should I say, when it comes to these situations, the shows I did, this is the show of all shows. Now, I won't say I've never hit on stuff like this or ever touched on anything like this, because I have. Through the times I've been doing these shows, it pretty much narrowed down to the truth. So, once again, it's not your truth, and what she's about to say is not her truth, and it's not anybody else's truth that take words to what she's saying, but it is the truth. It's the 100% unsaturated truth. So you can't jump over, you can't jump under it. You can't try to say yeah, but, because, you know, a lot of us black folk, we always got the yeah, but syndrome. But you can't say that when it comes to having the absolute fact and truth. So check this video out. It hits hard, of course. Well, for some people, it will hit hard. To the wrong people, it's going to hit hard. But to the right people, you already know what she's saying is true. Because once again, people, not everybody, but people got relationships mixed up in how they go about doing things. So check it out.
Okay, here's the myth. You're not going to like it, but here's the myth. God is preparing a man for you. Incorrect. Biblically speaking, the Bible says that God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. I'm going to let you sit on that for a couple seconds. God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. So the one God is preparing is you. You have to understand that God prepares you as a woman to come into the life of a man, to be a helpmate, to bring value into his life, to be able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is, instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man to make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman, you need to align with your man, and both of you need to serve God, because that is what God ordained, for man and woman to join together and serve God.
Supporting my family comes first, and DoorDash helps me do
I don't
that.
know what that is, but I'll run it back one more time.
DoorDash helps.
Okay, here's the myth. You're not going to like it, but here's the myth. God is preparing a man for you. Incorrect. Biblically speaking, the Bible says that God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. I'm going to let you sit on that for a couple seconds. God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. So the one God is preparing is you. You have to understand that God prepares you as a woman to come into the life of a man, to be a helpmate, to bring value into his life, to be able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is, instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man to make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman, you need to align with your man, and both of you need to serve God, because that is what God ordained, for man and woman to join together and serve God.
If a man cares about you, he's not going to want what is his.
Okay, so, like I said, this is the show of all shows. Now, how many times we heard people say that? The Lord is preparing a man for me. Or your own pastor will tell you that. Stay, keep hope alive, sisters. God is preparing a man for you. No. God is preparing you for that man. Because just like she said, Eve was created for Adam. It wasn't the other way around. It's never going to be the other way around. It's the man was put on this earth. God made Eve for her to be a helpmate to him. It's not the other way around. But society will sit up here and tell you, and not even society, some people just have the ideology in their own head that, you chase women. And a lot of people say that you're supposed to chase women. And women say, well, we like to be chased. But God said, don't chase a woman, because they're known to bring down kingdoms or nations. I think it was kingdoms. So if God say don't do it, but society say, no, you chase that woman, is it not common sense? Is it not common sense? So now you know your purpose. You're supposed to support the man. The man is supposed to, if let's just say, for instance, if I'm a man of God, okay, and I'm dealing with a sinner and I marry her, or if I'm just dating her, my job is to push her over to my world. Because God works through men. He always did. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Yes, he had prophetess. There was prophetess in the Bible. Well, women was doing it. But the bigger picture is he works through men. So all these women up there that say, God did this and God did that, it may be true, but majority of the time, most of them are lying. So my job as a husband is to put you in the same category I'm in, so we both can get on our knees and pray and serve the Lord. That's the purpose of man and woman. The Lord created us to serve him. He didn't create us to just say, do what y'all want to do. He never did. And I'm quite sure if he ain't changed in no time, if he ain't changed now, he ain't gonna change no time soon. But these are the conversations that people need to have. I'm not saying don't respect your wife or your girlfriend or whoever you want to date. I'm not saying that. But things has to be put in place. Because if you go against the grain, you're going to mess up your debt. Why do you think when it comes to relationships, people jump in one, jump out of one? Jump in one, jump out of one. Because they're looking for something they're not going to get because they're doing it wrong. You can get somebody on Facebook right now and say, well, I'm looking for true love. I'm looking for the man to come sweep me off my feet. A man is not going to come sweep you off your feet. That's what you call fairy tale land. So unless you do it right about what the Lord have ordained us to do, we're always going to be jumping from man to woman and woman to man. It's cut and dry. It's easy. It's easy to understand these things, what I'm saying, and easy for her to what she's saying. You have to get yourself together to be a wife. Because a husband have a very hard... To tell you something my brother told me a long time ago. We was having a conversation. I think I was probably in my late 30s. Probably late 30s, early 40s, something like that. And we were just talking. It was me, him, a bunch of other family members. We just talking. And he said these words. He said, if a woman can tell, you can tell if a woman is not interested in you by how she go about living her life without you. And I'm like, oh, okay, so what does that mean? And I'm not saying that it's a one-way street, but the best way a woman can show interest in you is if she know how you go about doing your day, how you feeling. She texts you, she calls you, because a woman have to show more interest in the man than the man have to show in a woman, because a woman have more options than the man always will, and always have. Because a woman can sleep with anybody she wants to. A man can sleep with anybody who wants to sleep with him. So the love has to be stronger on one side. But society always taught us what? That's why stuff don't work out. If you have a man in your life, and I said this before, if you have a man in your life that's not afraid to teach the truth, not afraid of the gospel, not afraid to tell you to put you in your place, that's the only man in God's green earth you're supposed to care about. Because let's just do a timeline of a relationship. Now, let's see, 16, you get your first boyfriend. 45, you okay, that one didn't work, 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 that one didn't work. None of them worked. You meet a guy that knows a little bit about, Jesus and God, all of this stuff. He comes and tell you the good news and glad tidings. And you rebel. You rebel against this guy. Well, he go with this and he go with that. You have no idea of the chance you just blow. That goes with the phrase. Once you get a good guy, your best thing to do is try to keep him as much. You try to keep him as much as you can, because once they're gone, they're gone. But people will say, well, you know what? You meet one guy, if it don't work, just get another one. And it's for the women too. I mean, for the men too. God is not going to send you a good man if you have a rebellious spirit. Let's just be honest about it. And when I mean rebellious spirit, that you already know you're not going to listen to anything that man says. So why would he send you a good man? Have anybody ever thought of that? Why? It's the waste of his time. You ain't gonna listen to what he say. So what the heck am I going to send you a man like that for? The first thing you're going to do is say, yeah, but. The second thing you're going to do is say, well, that's your truth. The third thing you're going to say is what? Yeah, actually, the yeah button, that's your truth. Those are the biggest things that people say now. You have to prepare. You have to prepare. You have to prepare yourself to be a wife, because most women already say, "Well, I know I can be a good wife." How did you know you can be a good wife if you was never married? How? How do you know you can be a good wife and every man you marry, let's just say you have 2, 3 husbands, you divorce them? That's not signs of a good wife. And trust me when I say this, all those men that get divorces, these men are not beating on their women. These men are not manipulating their women, are not doing this to them. Women get bored fast, so they go find something else to do. That's what you call a rebellious spirit. So the sister hit it right on the head. Your husband teach you things. Your husband bring you closer to the Lord. That's the deal between God and man, because can't nobody else make that deal. He brings you in. And then if the Lord open your eyes, you say, you know what? This dude was right. I see this going in the world. I see that going in the world. But when you try to, and that goes with when Christ was talking to, I think he was talking to Matthew, when he said, I didn't come to bring peace. I came as a sword to divide family, to divide people. I came to divide daughter from mother, father from son, the in-laws from, I forgot how the whole scripture went, but yeah, that pretty much, it all ties in with each other. Moral of the story is this. If he didn't come to bring peace, but he came as a sword to divide things, that means when you start telling the truth about things, people are not going to want to hear what you have to say. Because we're so fixated and hell-bent on what the world has to offer us. That's why his way is always going to be the best way for me, for you, for anybody. For anybody, for everybody. So no, the Lord is not going to prepare a man for you. That's the biggest lie ever told. You have to prepare yourself. The Lord will prepare you for that man. It's not the other way around. Because women have the easy part. Whether they believe it or not, they have the easy part. I marry a woman. Baby, you ain't got to work no more. I'm just using these examples. Now, I have to take care of the whole household. I have to go out there and fight anybody I got to fight for the job, to get a promotion and do this and do that. And that all has to come back to the family. If you don't look at it from that way, take a look at this. Look at war. Before they start letting women into war, women to the military, look what happened. The women and children stay home. And you know what? Let's even go back farther than that. Check out the barbarian days. Check out the medieval days, before there was anything in the world that had anything to do with being civilized back then. Women and children stay home. The men go out and fight. Not once have anybody ever said, you know what? The men stay home and the women and children, because you know why they didn't say that? Because it would have been a slaughter. I'm not saying that a job as a woman is just pure easy. No, I would never say that, because raising kids isn't hard. I mean, raising kids isn't easy, but it's not the hardest thing in the world. It's not. It's called being a mother. It's always going to call being a mother. But now, the way the world is now, it's the hardest job in the world. No, it's not the hardest job in the world. It's tough. You do what you have to do for your kids. Get on your knees and pray. Ask the Lord for guidance and strength. I guarantee you will be okay. So it was never about, when I find a husband, he gonna know how to treat me. No, you best be saying if you find a husband, you're gonna know how to treat him. A lot of people is not going to like this, but when your eyes are open to the truth, your eyes are just open to the truth. There's nothing you can do about that. Once again, God created Adam. Then he created Eve. He didn't say, I created Eve, then I created Adam. Adam was first. So first is the boss. That's just how it goes. Just like God is above everything because he was already here. Nobody's above the Lord. Nobody. There's no one after him. There's no father. There's no grandfather. He's just here. How he's here like that, I do not know. And then he made an order about things. The head of every man is Christ. Is the Lord. No, the head of Christ is the Lord, which Christ is Jesus. The head of every man, the head of man is Jesus. I'm sorry, I messed it all up. The Lord, which is God, Jesus, the Son of God, man, then woman. They're all in order. The head over God is nobody. The head over Jesus is God. The head over man is Jesus. The head over women is man. That's just how it is. Simple as that. If you go by those rules, you wouldn't have a problem. So guess what? That pretty much kicks out, well, if I'm gonna marry him or this or that, he have to show me he can be masculine so I can be feminine. No, you're supposed to be a woman every day of your life. Because once again, men don't say that. Men don't say, well, I'm going to date her, but she got to show me that she got to bring my masculinity out. No, men's already built with masculinity, just like women are already built with femininity. You should be a woman all the days of your life. Should no man have to bring anything out of you that you were already born with. So who do you think you're fooling? Women are here to be helpmates for the man. It's nothing else when it comes to that order. And I'm saying that order, I mean the order that the Lord hath made. He created them to be helpmates. You're supposed to help your husband, help him through problems, help him through stress, help him through whatever you are here to help him through. But society flipped it and say, no matter what happened, you got to help that woman. But the woman is not going to lift a finger to help you. But this is what happens when you live in a world that has no God. You're supposed to be that man's support system. You don't believe me? Go back. If you can get a time machine and go back to the early 70s, 60s, 50s, 20s and stuff like that, those women were there with their husbands. Back in the days, black marriages was blooming until the Feminist Act kicked in. And they say, hey, anything a man can do, y'all can do too. No, better. Anything a man can do, we can do too. And if not, we can do it better than they can. That's why they say, hey, women rule the world. A woman will never rule this world. Never, not in a million years. If I leave this world and come back as a star or whatever, you're still not going to rule this world because it was never meant for you to rule the world. It was never meant. It was never written nowhere in stone. It was never written it's not even written in the laws of man. So everybody has a part to play. Men are protectors, men are providers. So if men are protectors and providers, how could you say Knight to freaking Bishop 6 and take his place? That means you're the protector and the provider. God used men for reasons. God used women for reasons. That's why a lot of relationships, once again, a lot of relationships don't work out. Because you want to be the head and not the tail. And when I say hid and not to tell, that don't mean I want you just going to be in the back for all, just be in the back, period. No, we all have roles to play. It's just like acting. They give me a role to be a cop. They'll give another, a brother or sister role to be a bad guy. They'll give a sister or brother the role to be speaking in the ice cream store, speaking in the restaurant, and I come in and I just shoot up. Those are roles, so everybody have a role to play. So for the latecomers, I'll play the video one more, not one more time, but I'll play the video again. But listen to what this lady is saying.
Okay, here's a myth. You're not going to like it, but here's the myth. God is preparing a man for you. Incorrect. Biblically speaking, the Bible says that God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. I'm going to let you sit on that for a couple seconds. God created Eve for Adam, not Adam for Eve. So the one God is preparing is you. You have to understand that God prepares you as a woman to come into the life of a man, to be a helpmate, to bring value into his life.
To bring value into his life. So God have to prepare, just like he prepared everybody else. He have to prepare you to be with that man. It's not the other way around. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that God is not going to prepare that man so he can stay fit and to be a husband, but he has to prepare you because it just don't sound right. God is preparing the man for me. And they all say that. God going to send me a man. God is going to send me a man. God going to send me a man. No, he's not. So just stop it. Now, it'll be different if you was listening to the words that he was saying and obeying the Lord and doing what he say do. Then that's a different story. But you have stone cold sinners out here saying, well, the Lord going, for what? So you can mess him up? Let's just be honest about it. If you don't listen to what your boyfriend say, how the hell you gonna listen to what your husband say? It's pretty much the same thing. So God have to quicken you. He have to prepare you for a husband because he already know once you take on that man's name, that man got to take on the responsibility of you till he leave this world. So now he has to prepare you. Are you fit? Are you able? Do you qualify for yourself to be a wife to a man? Because every woman that I've talked to and I've heard in podcasts and just overheard conversation, all of them are already ready. Oh, I know I can do this as a wife. How do you know? Do you really know? Because the minute you go against your husband when he's on the right path, and he's doing what the Lord told him to do. And the minute you go against him, it's his job to reel it back out and try to reel you in. But if you have that rebellious spirit and you keep cutting the rope, guess what? Joke's on you. You wasn't fit for him. You was never fit for him. That's why a lot of women can't get married because they know, first of all, if you're going to marry a man, you have to follow the laws of the Lord. That means, guess what, sisters? You have to submit to that man. You have to. So there's no such thing as, well, I'll marry him, but I'm not going to submit. So you guess what? Newsflash. Don't marry him. You can't marry him. Because you're already showing people what you are. Oh, I'll never submit to a man. I'll marry him, but I ain't going to submit to him. Well, guess what? That's rude. That's one of the rules God said about marriage. Husbands, love your wives like Jesus loved the church. Women, submit to your husbands. He didn't say it in Russian. He said it in Hebrew. They when they got the Bible and they redid it, they put it in English. That's what that means. So do you know what submitting to your husband means? A lot of people don't even know that. Oh yeah, that ain't nothing. I'm willing to do that. You're willing to do it until you get married. And the first thing he do to tick you off, you're going to try to file for divorce. So don't be so quick to say what you want, because what you want, you're going to get, and you don't know how to keep that what you wanted. That goes with the what I've been saying for the longest. A lot of women say, I want a good man. Lord, send me a good man. Lord, no, not a good man. Lord, send me a godly man. When you get the godly man, the man not flip it around. When you get the godly man and the man starts seeing errors in your life and correcting your mistakes, you want to leave him. Because you can't be told what to do. God, send me a good man. God, I want a God-fearing man. You get the God-fearing man, you don't even know how to act around a God-fearing man. You cringe up because he's coming at you with the truth. And out of all these years you've been in relationships, nobody never really told you the truth. So when you hear the truth, you can't take the truth. And what happens when you can't take the truth? You got to reflect it or deflect it. So that's why a lot of things go wrong. Things are always going to go wrong if we do wrong by it. I watched my parents until the Lord called them home. My mother was always there for my father. He was always there for her. They was like freaking Batman and Robin. You don't see that anymore. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, by me saying you don't see it anymore, I'm not saying the whole world is not. No, you still have people that's married and they will tell you, it's a team. You have to work together. If that's my husband, that's my husband. That's the one that brought me out of darkness. Because I was a lost soul. I started listening to what he had to say. It started making sense. I got on my knees and prayed and asked the Lord to show me the way. And through that man, he showed me the way. So if through that man, he showed you the way, your best bet is to keep that man, because if you go astray, he won't be there to show you the way anymore. And then next thing you know, you'll be right back doing what you do, what you used to do. So that's why rebellious spirits, rebellious women, I don't even have time for them anymore. I'll be cordial with you. I'll say hi. I'll say bye. I'll help you with this. I'll help you with that because I'm a nice guy. But it goes no further than that, because you're going to keep fighting what I say when it comes to the Lord and the scriptures. You can't fight me on that. You want to pick a fight? Go pick a fight with the man. You should be on the same chord. You should be on the same track. You know what? This is my husband. I can't do that. I just can't do it. Oh, you changed. You met this nigga. You changed. You know what? Well, then guess what? It pleases me to change. So yeah, I'm going to change. I'm supposed to change. You just didn't. So why are you mad at me? Because I'm trying to better myself, trying to keep my man, trying to do what's right by the Lord and him, so we can be blessed and prosper in this world, then to listen to you. And you are nothing. So the best bet is to do it the right way. Do it the way God intended it to be. He didn't make you to be number one. He never did. You treat that man with respect. Watch what happens. You don't divorce him because he loses his job. God frowns upon that stuff, but you just don't know it. If he say you can't do it, guess what? Newsflash, homegirl, you just can't do it. You can get mad all you want. No, my God, my husband said no. Oh, babe, can we go on this trip? No, next time. We'll go next year. Okay, fine. Next year it is. You don't rebel against him. Because let's just say for argument's sake, if you do get a godly man and you rebel against that man, you're not rebelling against him, you're rebelling against the Father. He's the one that put the stuff in him to tell you, and you telling him, go to hell. You're trying to change my life. You're controlling this and that. You're not telling it to him. You're telling it to the Father. So expect your payday. You're not talking to him. He's only delivering the message. Them to saying, hey, don't unalive the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger. Hey, I'm just a messenger. Oh, he don't know what he's talking about. He's just trying to do this. He's just trying to do that. He's just trying to change. He don't even have no friends, because your friends are going to lead you to the same place you were going if you don't change your ways. It's very simple. Sometimes God put people in your life to let you see that you're going to screw it up. Okay, she said, send me. I want a God-fearing man. I want a godly man. I'm gonna send Michael over there. God already know you're gonna mess up, but he wants you to see that you're gonna mess up. And then when it goes wrong, what you gonna say? Well, he just wasn't for me, girl. He was controlling. He wanted me not to do this. He wanted me not to do that. He told me I can't dress like this when I'm going out. He told me to carry myself as a woman and dress modestly. And, sometimes it's just best to be quiet. Shut up. Listen to what he got to say. Stop listening to answer, but listening to understand. Then when it goes bad, you put the blame on him, but it really went bad because you wasn't ready for what you asked for. So the Lord just sit back and laugh and say, I told you. And the only thing you can do is think about it and say, you know what? Father, you was right. You're absolutely right. I wasn't even ready for that. But we're so stubborn and so stuck in our ways that we say, to hell with him. But once again, you're not saying to hell to him. You're saying to hell with God. So you need to work on yourself. You need to sit down. Like I said before, get you a stool, a chair, or whatever you sit in. Get you a nice mirror and ask yourself those questions. Am I ready to be a wife? Am I ready to take on being submissive to a man? Because a God-fearing woman, a godly woman, she have no problem doing that. Not one problem. They kicking the door open, coming in and say, you know what? Hey, that's my job. That's what I do. But it's the ones that fight you all the time. Well, we're just not ready for this. Blah, blah, that, other. It's not them. It's not you they don't like. It's what's in you that they don't like. Remember, the race is not given to the swift or the strong, but to the one that endureth in the end. You want your relationship to work? Get you a man that knows about the Lord and is going to tell you the truth about the Lord. When you get that man and he starts talking to you about things, your eyes will open it and reveal that he was always telling you the truth. But when you got Satan in your ear, remember the old cartoon, the devil on this side, the angel on this side, but that's just a cartoon. But in reality, that's how it is. Because when you get to talking about the truth about things, Satan's always going to be right there. And he's going to fill your head with so much of the things you want to do. They talking to all the girls, go out. Girl, what you need to... And Satan works through your friends as well. A guy can come in and try to get you to do right. And when he leaves, it'll be on your mind like, man, you know what, that did make sense what he did. Maybe I need to stop doing what I'm doing. Ring, ring, ring. Your friend come. Girl, what you doing? All right, I just got to talking to Mike. Oh, yeah, he's still talking that Bible stuff. Yeah, girl, look, that's on y'all time. But come on, let's go out and party. Let's go out and get some drinks. So let's go get drunk and do this. Let's go shake our tail feathers. Satan is always around. He uses your friends just like he uses your family. Then next thing you know, you didn't fail. Then you're like, oh, crap, I shouldn't have did this. Because he's always going to throw stumbling blocks because his job is to block what blessing the Lord have for you. That's his job. You think Satan going to sit back and say, well, you know what? Hey, shut up, nigga. Be quiet. God's talking. He's not going to do that. He's never going to do that. Let's finish this.
To be able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man
to allow that man to do what he have to do, you make it all about you. What is that? What does that tell everybody? Why you don't love me no more? Why we don't do this anymore? Why we don't do that anymore? You used to do a lot of things, this and that. Dude, it's not about you. It's about getting together, getting it right, and serve the purpose that we are here to do. And that's to serve the Lord. Not to serve me, not to serve her, not to serve your kids. That's how things fall in order and work. Men are leaders. Men are always going to be leaders, whether you like it or not. It's not my call. It's not my choice, because I didn't make not one human being. I didn't make not one. And I'm not talking about the idiots out there. No, they can't lead you to a freaking cup of water. But once they start getting their life together, that leadership will show. Hey, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to be out here unaliving my brothers, unaliving my sisters, doing this and doing all these sinful things. And he started coming to the light. Now his eyes are open. So what is his job to do? Open your eyes. Hey, the things we used to do, we can't do anymore. Why not? Because, sweetie, we can't. It goes against the moral. It goes against everything that the Lord says. So best bet is to follow his instructions. I give you the message. You give the kids the message. And we all be one happy family. And if you don't have kids, let's being you work on getting our lives together. Just like the lady said yesterday, you go to somebody and say, hey, we live in, we fornicating, we doing this and that. We ain't finna have no sex till marriage. What did she say? I'm not trying to do that. No, for what? Because the biggest thing in the world is sex. Well, one of them. Then that's when Satan's really get to talking to you. Knock, 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 nigga. Open up, nigga. Because his job is to make sure you stay down. And I'm not saying that nobody's not going to fall. We all fall. But you have to pick yourself up and remember, hey, I'm better than this. You got sisters out there looking for love they're never going to find. They're never going to find. And the only thing they can say is, well, how do you know that? You always speaking negative, or you're a negative person. How can I be a negative person? And I already know what you're doing is wrong and you don't have God. And so how do you expect to find what you're looking for? So in reality, I'm really not as negative as you thought I was. I'm looking for the man that's going to do this. You keep, like my father used to say, keep looking. You're not going to find him. You've been in a relationship that just was in your 20s. You're in your 50s and 60s now. 40s and 50s, well, 50s, 60s. You think you're going to find one. That goes with anybody. And I hate when women say stuff like that. Well, you know, it's never too late. Yes, it is. Oh, because time runs out for us all. Time runs out for us all. If you neglected the one that got sense, how are you going to find somebody? If you're neglecting the one that's got the sense, but all the other guys you have in your life don't have a lick of sense, you're neglecting the wrong one. Because you're so hell-bent on looking for guys that's going to pay your bills. Looking for guys that are going to make your life comfortable. Well, my life is going to be comfortable. No, you have to make his life comfortable. That's your job. It's your job. That's why he said he created woman to be a helpmeet to men. It's not the other way around. That's your man, baby. Look, other than the God up there, that's your God, whether you like it or not. Remember, back in those days, they used to call their husbands what? Lord. How's your day going today, my Lord? Because God works through men. He always did. And until we get that understanding, we are always going to be lost. Now, I'm not saying, hey, you gotta call your husband Lord. No, you have to respect that man. Your husband should have the most highest respect there is you can give a man. Your husband have more respect than your father, more respect than your son and your daughter. Because without him, you wouldn't have those kids. Now you can go out there and have kids with somebody else, but Lisa and Bobby, they won't be here without Pop's DNA to create Lisa and Bobby. They wouldn't be here. So that's why the kids grew up all messed up, because they have no guidance. Because most of the time, women teach their kids off of what they went through, their life experience, which is, it probably was a bad deal for them. I'm not gonna diss no woman about that, because things happen in life, and some things happen in life to women that I wish would never have happened. But you still got to be strong, because there's no excuse. I didn't have a father growing up. Okay, well, guess what? Now you got kids. Well, no, scratch the kids out. I didn't have a father growing up. That's why God sent people to listen to. Listen to these people. Because all you know about is yourself. Boy, he's got to do this. He's got to do that. That's all you hear on podcasts. He's got to do this. He got to do that. He got to take care of me when we ain't even together no more. How? Why? That's why you don't spoil women. Because once you spoil them, they're like children. They're like little kittens. They're going to keep coming back. And then when you don't do it, they're going to catch an attitude with you. But God didn't send you here to support their needs like that. He didn't send you here to say, no, the Lord laid it on my heart, baby. I'm going to pay your car note. I'm going to pay your... No, you work, you pay your own stuff. That's how relationships build. There's nothing wrong with help. I'll say it again, because somebody will be quick to come on here and say, well, you know what, blah, blah, this. No, there's nothing wrong with helping somebody. Helping your brother, helping your sister, helping you, just helping your girl. It don't matter. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can't make it a custom. Because if you make it a custom, you are doing things the husband is supposed to do, and you're not married. And please, for God's sakes, please don't get that mixed up with cooking for a guy. That's just cooking. You can cook for freaking, you can cook for a homeless man, a homeless woman, a stranger. That's just cooking. Because a lot of women do say that. I'm not going to cook for you unless you're my husband, but you still want him to help you with your bills. Suppose they say, well, I'm not going to pay this bill until you're my wife. Oh, they don't want to hear that. My job is to tell people the truth. Whether you like me or not, whether you love me or hate me, it matters not to me. It never mattered to me pretty much anyway, but I want to tell you the truth. There are certain things you shouldn't do for women. Women, there are certain things you shouldn't do for men. Take it the way it is. Oh, let's finish this.
Make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman, able to allow him and encourage him to do what God has destined for him to do. But as a woman that is unprepared, what happens is instead of allowing the man to do what God has called him to do, you make it all about you. And you want the man to make you his God. It was never planned that way. As a woman,
you want the man to make you his God, is what she said. And it was planned. It was never planned. Did I not just say that? You gotta walk, you gotta worship the ground I walk on. For what? You're a human being just like I am. So why? Why? So you want to be what they call them, a goddess, which that's not even a freaking word. You want to be a goddess to somebody you can't be a goddess over. Because if you're a goddess, that means God appointed you to lead him. So that's not going to happen. But God appointed men to lead. Men are born, like I said, men are born leaders. Look at your ancestors. But somehow, somewhere down the line, the lines got crossed. And now we're living in a whole bunch of anarchy, doubt, and stupidity. I'm waiting for a man to treat me right. So if you're waiting for a man to treat you right, and you dated. So you mean to tell me all those men you had didn't treat you right? Maybe it's not the man that's not treating you right. Maybe it's yourself that's thinking you're worth more than what you actually are. Maybe that could be it. Because it's quick. Anybody can get on a microphone and say, well, I deserve more. Do you? Do you actually deserve what you think you do? Are you actually qualified to be a wife like you think you do? Maybe, maybe not. But majority of the women that say, I know I'm a good wife, how come you're not married? Because you had men. Why are you not married to one? Because the clock ticks every day, all day. That means you're getting older. That means I'm getting older. You can't be a good wife if the Lord is not with you. Just be honest about it. None of us can be nothing without the Lord anyway. So if that Lord, if you want a godly man, you got to play by his rules, and they're not his rules. They're the rules of the Father that's telling him to play by those rules. Can you really be with a godly man? Can you really be with a man that's going to correct your mistakes? That's going to tell you to get your life together. That's going to say, you know what? Hey, we're going to pray today. We're going to do this. We're going to stay in the house and read the script. Can you be with a man like that? Can you? Because that's what godly men do. But to the world, they would say, what? He's insecure. It's not an insecure man. That's a godly man that's telling you and trying to put you on the right path, just like the woman just said. Can you do that? If you can do that, well, guess what? Kudos to you. This has nothing to do with you. I'm talking about the ones that always said and ain't been happy in 50 freaking years. Maybe it's not him that's rebellious. Maybe it's you. Maybe it's you.
To align with your man, and both of you need to serve God, because that is what God ordained, for man and woman to join together and serve God.
That's what God ordained, to be with your God, to be in order with him and serve the Lord. That's the intent on husband and wife. That's one of the intents on husband and wives. I deal with you. Once again, I have to pull you in. Now that I pulled you in, now you have to start listening to what I say. Now that you listen to what I say, you have to correct your mistakes. Not saying that you're going to fall, but you have to correct your mistakes. And then you correct your mistakes to the order that you don't make those same mistakes again. And then when you correct those mistakes and don't make them again, now we have to be as one. There's no you going this way. There's no me going this way. There's no me sleeping on the couch. There's no you catching attitudes. Sure, you can get mad, but what happens? He said, get angry, but do what? Don't sin. There's no getting mad at your spouse and say, you know what? I think he's out there doing something, or I think she's out there doing something, and you go and you sleep with another man or woman. That's sin. You sit there and you're talking about, I've never heard my parents have an argument. Ever since from a child till I was an adult. I've never, and I'm not saying they didn't, but I've never heard them have an argument. Never. And if they have an argument, they have a right to have an argument. But I've never heard it. Why would I want to sit down and have arguments with my wife all the time about things that I do or things that she do? Somebody got to be the bigger person and say, you know what? We both idiots. I apologize for this. I apologize for that. Well, you know what, baby? You're right. I apologize too. End of it. Let's go watch TV, eat some pizza, and drink some sodas or something. But when you lay down and you still got that anger in your mind and in your heart, your boy's coming. Satan's coming. Yep. Be mad. And remember 6 months ago when he did that, you went in his phone and you're seeing this, or you went in her phone and you're seeing that, then here come all the rest of the anger. Oh, I can't stand this nigga. Oh, I hate her. And guess what happens? Somebody might get hurt. Somebody might get unalive, and though you have one argument too many, and then you ask, dude, do you still love me? I don't know. Because you let the devil get into your life. Instead of having an argument and saying, you know what, Lord, forgive me, get on your knees and pray and ask the Lord for guidance and strength, you think you're bad enough to take it on your own. That's why women have so many attitudes. That's where the attitudes come from. And if you're dealing with one with an attitude, you might as well just walk out of it now. Because if she has an attitude about everything, she's not going to listen to the word of God. She's not. Because she's always going to think her way is her way. Remember, your truth. Sorry, I'm sorry, but, or yeah, but, or that's how you go about saying things. No. Because the opposite, well, not the opposite, the sad name for pride is what? Shame. How many of us can actually sit here and say, you know what I did was stupid. That was the stupidest thing I've ever could have done, and I'm sorry. No, it's not going to happen. You know what's going to happen? Well, you know, I wouldn't have said it if you wouldn't have said this. Well, you know what? I apologize. Yeah, I'm sorry too, but bam, there it go. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't. No, if you're sorry, just drop it. It's over. It's done. You're sorry. Get on with your life. Don't be holding grudges. You can't hold it. You can't. That's the most stupidest thing to do, is to hold a grudge against somebody that you are in love with. How dumb is that? But do we not do it? People in this world today is mad at things that didn't go their way years ago, and they still hold that against that person. So, you have to forgive. If you want to be on team God, you have to forgive that person, no matter what they did. I forgive you. Let's get our lives going. Simple as that. But when they hold, I ain't gonna forgive you because you just hurt my feelings so bad that I cannot forgive you. Well, screw you then. I said my piece. If you're gonna take it or you're gonna walk away, but guess what? I wash my hands of it. I'm done with it. But you want to hold a grudge, be my guest, go right ahead. By you holding a grudge, it's going to bring you attitudes. By you having attitudes, it's going to make you miserable for the rest of your life. Because that's all you know, is to have attitudes and hold grudges and be mad at people. When something don't go your way, you don't just throw in the towel. You figure out what's going on and you try to make it better. So the moral of the story is this. Women, you have a big part to play in life, period. Women, you are so important. You don't even know how important you are. But you're using your importance for the wrong thing. You can bring a man down to his knees if you respect that man and do right by the Lord and right by that man. That's why when you hear these people that's been married, they be like, well, I give my wife the world, because that woman is there with him. They go one way, they'll get, and if it's real love, that person's going to think about you every day, and you're going to think about that person every day. Ain't no in between. Well, I still love him, but Michael got a Benz. Well, so then guess what? And you go for Michael, but you're still thinking about the other guy. That means you're screwed up. So I have nothing but respect for the brothers and the sisters. They can't move on. When they're in love, they can't move on, because that's pretty much showing respect to the other person. But key word, in love. I didn't say love. I didn't say like. Because once you're crazy about somebody, you're just crazy about it. No matter what they do, you're still going to be crazy about that person. And that is where the fun begins. God likes stuff like that. They're going to work through it. They're going to be okay. So guess what? If they're working to it, they're going to be okay. She only see him and he only see her, and they're doing stuff in my name, glorifying me and trying to live right. I'm going to bless these guys. That's how the big guy go about doing it. Y'all going to be blessed. He ain't going to come down and say, well, I'm going to bless y'all. Doors just start opening that you never thought would open. Whoa. Really? This, that, and blah, blah, this, and the other. We got the money to do this. We got the money to do that. And that's God pointing out his blessing to you because you're doing what he say to do. He's not going to bless you if you're not doing what he say do. So get that out of your head. Because Satan blesses his people too. Look at Hollywood. Those are Satan people. Do he not reward his people? They're millionaires. Some of them are billionaires. That's the reward. But God's not going to reward you like that. So you can pretty much forget about it. Well, the Lord made me a billionaire. He already know if you get all this money, nigga, you're going to turn. So chill with all that. Remember Jesus told the man, hey, you want to follow me? Give all your stuff away, drop it all and follow me. What did that man say? Hold on there, J-Dog. Whoa, my man. You want to get rid of all of this? God's not going to bless you like that anyway. Because he can't afford to always let you feel good. So that's why you got to go through pain and suffering. He wants to see you not at your worst, but he wants to see you struggling in a good way, meaning no matter what I go through, I still got my faith in the Lord. Because a lot of people sell out. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Remember Job? Job was sick for a long time. Not once did he curse God. Look what happened when God healed him. Job was already wealthy. He made him wealthy 4 times over probably 6 times over, twice over. But it was back then it was a lot of money. The brother probably started out with 20 goats. Now he got 90 goats. It's the faith that he wants. It's the commandments that you got to keep. So why would he bless you and you don't have faith in him? Because anybody can believe in God. Satan believed in God. But you got to do what he say do. Simple as that. So there's no sense in arguing about it anymore. Try the Spirit, by the Spirit. So you're only fooling yourself. And then when the guy goes and he finds a woman, a wife rather, and everything in there, and God is helping them out. They're moving this, they're doing that. They're just have a beautiful life in the Lord. You looking at them saying, oh, well, good for him. But in the back of your mind, you're like, I screwed up. It happens to us all. Because it pays to listen. That goes with just your earthly parents. It pays to listen. You do good, your parents are going to reward you. You get straight A's in school, they're going to reward you. You go to college, you graduate, they're going to reward you. You do things around the house, clean up, do the dishes, mow the lawn, whatever, they're going to reward you. You don't do it, they're not going to reward you. Same thing with earthly parents, same thing with the man above. It's the same thing. So once again, who do you think you're fooling? So the lady's right. The lady's right. If talking about the Lord is that brother's strong suit, you as a wife or as a girlfriend that love that man, you're supposed to be right there next to him. Right there. Say it, brother. Come on. Keep saying it. We all need to be taught this. Yeah, that go for me too. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying that's how the way women's supposed to be. Yeah, he's right. Because God, once again, he likes stuff like that. He's woken up. So he's trying to wake you up. And you're not fighting him. And even if you were fighting him, you come into a halt or a standstill and say, you know what he's saying is true. I'm going to be with this man. Because this brother's got some thoughts in his head that all the men I've dated, none of them ever said that. So the thing is, why is he saying it? And the other ones I thought I was in love with, or say I was in love with, they didn't say nothing like this. But this one's coming with truth, knowledge, and understanding. So I think I might want to put the car in park and just chill with this one. But if he don't play by your rules, you don't want that. So that goes with, no, I can't pay your bills, sweetie. I can't. No, I can't stoop to your level. I can't. No, I don't approve you with a rebellious spirit, or a vengeful heart, or an evil heart, or I can't approve you of dressing the way you want to dress just because you say I'm a woman, I can do what I want to do, and men should be able to keep their hands to themselves. But if you throw a steak in a den of lions, you think them lions gonna say, I'm on a diet, I don't want it. A bunch of hungry lions. What do you think's gonna happen? They're going to devour the steak. So guess what? Stop dressing like a steak. It's cut and dry. You have to respect each other. The men have to respect their wives as well. So this isn't a one-sided thing. But then again, it is, because she's talking about the women. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you guys enjoy the show. I hope you guys learned something. And once again, this isn't a hate show. So please don't get me mixed up with a hate show. And don't say, I'm not going to watch the show because I only talk about women. Maybe you're the one that needs to watch the show, so you might can learn something. Like I said, if there's nobody on the live, if there's one on the live, my job is done. This your boy Pico Black signing off, saying take care of yourself and each other. Love you guys for listening. Once again, hit the like button. Feel free to share. Feel free to leave a comment, and feel free to share the content. Unplugged Podcast, Pico Black 74. As soon as I get off this live, I need you guys to go to YouTube and hit that sub button. Just hit it. Just hit it. Unplugged Podcast at Pico Black 74. You're going to see my big old head pop up with some cool lights in the back. Hit the sub button, guys. Thank you guys again. You just heard another second episode of Unplugged. I'll be back Monday with another show. If you got something for me to talk about, once again, send it to my inbox. Hey, can you talk about this? I'll be more than happy to. That goes for the men and the women. Once again, women, if you got something you want me to talk about, what men need to do, hey, feel free to send it. But I won't know unless you send it to me. But most of the stuff I get are from women sending me things about women. That's just how it is. Hey, I work both sides. I'm for the men and for the women, because my job is to only see my people be successful. So if I want to see my people be successful, that means I can't hate women. If I hated women, I would just say I want men to be successful and women stay in the kitchen. I want to see both of us make it. I want to see more black-on-black marriages. I want to see, people following the way of the Lord. I want to see that. And if you play your cards right, you probably want to see it too. Enough fighting, enough bantering between the brothers and the sisters. Enough. Enough is enough, man. Let's live our lives to serve the Father, because that's what we are here for. Well, I'm not here for your sake. You're not here for my sake. You're here to glorify the Lord. That's it. Thank you guys once again. What's that, Aisha? Another great show. Keep it. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. That means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Like I said, probably Monday, if I'm still here, if the Lord allowed me to be on this earth. If nothing comes up important, I will definitely be on here again. I'm going to start back doing, because I can multitask. I can do this, I can do that. But one of my favorite things is this is my passion, but one of my other favorite things is talking about movies again. So I'm going to start back with the movies, and I got some more good news for you guys. PTS is coming back. So yes, there's Pico, Sean, Tony, and Dre. We're coming back. We're working on stuff. It'll be back on live. It'll be back on the live very soon. So once again, PTSD is coming back. I say PTS. PTSD is coming back. And once again, thank you guys for listening. Rewatch it. If you want to rewatch the show, hey, leave a question, or hey, question me in my inbox. Thank you guys. Once again, you heard another episode of Unplugged. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, I love you all. All of you. I don't hate anybody. I don't even hate my enemy, because I can't hate my enemy because I don't have any enemies. I'm out of here, guys. Take care of yourself and each other.